All right, Michael, here's a staffing model. Is why I asked you for the names of everybody. Uh, First, in the field name, what are their names? I'm just making all this up, but you can. This is the staffing model plan, though. So there's revenue build, there's the assumptions behind the revenue build, the position pay, and there's a story behind that, and the staffing. These are the positions and what kind of staffing do we need, and then the org chart populates up in here as well. So revenue build, what we basically do is take, okay, what is the annual revenue for each position? And this is what I used as when I was coaching contractors. This is pretty much what they should be hitting from an average technician standpoint or an install crew standpoint. And generally this, for the plumbing install, that was for sewer replacement. We really didn't have any installation for plumbing. Everything we did was service and replacement. You know, biggest thing for plumbing and for the plumbing side is a water heater. And then these guys are sewers, so they dig up the line outside and all that. So they're full day jobs. Water heaters not. So anyway, same thing goes in mind here for the HVAC techs. The reason the HVAC techs are less than the plumbers and the electricians is because they turn a lot of leads over to the salesmen to do replacement. So we had our groups broken out between service technician and installers. Now in the beginning, I didn't start out that way. My first service technician was also my installer because he was the only one that knew how to spell HVAC. And he taught me how to spell it. So bottom line is, that is, as you grow, you'll have designated installers and then service technicians. And this is also a fluctuation because you have senior technicians and green technicians. And the green technicians don't drive in a lot of revenue, but they drive in a lot of 80% gross margin revenue because of cleaning. When they learn how to clean a system, and we send them out on equipment that's under 5 years old because we're just taking a chance that nothing's really wrong, and they're basically going out there fulfilling a service agreement. But there's going to be dirt present on every call. Every 6 months that there's going to be dirt in that system that needs to be cleaned, and we show the guys how to do that. And that's how they generate their revenue and then learn the bones of the business as they go through it, as they go through some training and maybe doing some ride-alongs with some senior techs as well. And then the electricians, you know, they're pretty much the same as the plumbers. That's what we expect out of electricians and the plumbers. And the electrical side, this here was specifically for that generators. As far as electrical guys, installation crews went, we didn't do a lot of rewiring, but if we did, it would be a crew. There was some knob and tube here, and not in Kansas City. I never did it personally myself, but other companies that I've coached, they've got a lot of knob and tube, and they've done some replacement. So it's basically the knob and tube replacements into the fuse box into a regular, whatever, breaker box, I guess, and then generators outside would be considered an install. Okay, so that's where these are. So you just go ahead and put your technicians' names in here. I just populated these up as 4 and 1, and then with each install crew there's a helper, so it's automatically figured into there's a helper in this thing. Okay, and so that gives you a total of 11 employees doing about almost $6 million. Okay, and that's how you populate this through for your staff. And then your staffing assumptions are based off of this, based off of all these positions. This gets updated every year, and it actually got updated because I was blessed enough that they sent me the Nexstar financial surveys that has all of the metrics of the positions, and I was able to update this again this year because staying friends is a good idea. So they gave me the stuff doing what I was doing, and so I was able to update this. And then, so that's up to date. And then the position pay, this is also up to date. It came from the financial survey. And this is the average pay between all of the contractors. There's over 1,000 contractors inside Nexstar right now. And the ones that participate is about 66% of them participate. So not all 1,000 of them do, but from there we get their position pay for each one of these pays, each one of these positions. So it gives us an idea, and I've just rounded it off to the average pay is for those. Actually, it was the upper 80%. I did the 80%. I took the lowest, I added them all together, and okay, what's the top 20%? What's the bottom 20%? And we averaged them up, and I averaged them up to about a 90% of what their pay would have been. So there might be some people in here you might pay a little bit more on, but they have to be pretty good superstars to do that. Okay. Then the staffing. Now this is based off of here. This is where you'll put the employee's name. This is for overhead. These are the overhead positions here. And this shows us how much is required, how much you need. So basically when I do that, there usually is a way that I can see, probably because I'm filming and it's not going to show me, but if I added all of those up, equal, I can't do it. Okay, so anyways, this kind of tells me how many people I need. I need 1.5 people as a CSR. I need a 18.8% of a CSR manager. So I team those folks up. Okay, and this isn't your information. This is just information I plugged in from what the revenue said I needed to have. Okay, this is the producers, and this is the revenue. This is the overhead I need to manage to keep the overhead low, but also have enough support there for the folks out in the field. Okay, because no revenue is generated from inside. This is all support staff. Okay, so this is what you'll need. You can see you got 88% here. You'll see these red ones. If it goes above 90, it's a warning sign saying maybe this guy's getting overloaded, like this dispatcher. There's one dispatcher in this scenario. Nobody's perfect. So you might want to think about splitting them out and making a 50-50 if that's the case. And then they grow into those positions. And it grows, this number grows as we add technicians. So it shows us that we're not burning somebody out. His bottom line is the reason I built this, is to make sure that, what are the warning signs of burning people out? And it's the capacity of work. It's the type of work that they do. Okay? And we've got that activity built in there. Anyways, and so that comes from this assumption. This is how many people you need per 6 techs. You need 1.5 CSRs. So as it went through here, this is the metric for the position assumptions. So don't even bother with it. It's something that drives this formula right here. Okay, I could get into a whole algorithm, but that'll take another hour talk. Okay, and then here's an org chart. Kind of shows you your org chart, what you have as people in your positions. Here's all your positions, and so basically employee headcount is 7.45 on this model that I just built. Okay, so not a big deal, but I think it's important that you understand the supporting staff ratio to the field staff. Okay, and that's why this is important. Okay, I'll let you go.